Do you think that dating tips or rules are different for local dating, say, in Brussels where you are, or in London, or in Paris, or do you think the same rules apply?
I think the rules are universal.
Do you?
I think so.
Like what do you think? Like, for example?
Yeah, everything. Just to be polite is just a universal way of doing. Just
Good
be
manners.
polite. Good manners, yeah.
What would your top 5 dates be?
Your top 5 tips, your dating tips.
Manners.
Yeah.
Hold your knife and fork properly.
That's very British though, isn't it? To hold your knife and fork properly. If you're in India, like, or you're in China or whatever, do you know what I mean? It's complete, or in Ireland.
To remember to say thank you if somebody buys you drinks or dinner. To appreciate them and thank them. To appreciate that you're still going to be on your party behaviour on the first date, and that if you come away thinking, well, I'm not sure, then think about meeting them for a second time, because it'll be far more relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think another one as well is not to pick up the phone or not to have your mobile phone.
Social media, social media on the dates.
Yeah. We had a couple of clients who just said like, oh, the man was looking to his mobile phone all the time, and it's very annoying. So I think this is an important one too.
Yeah, it is. It is a bit of a deal now, the mobile phones on the tables. I was in a place recently where you had to leave your mobile phone at the desk of the restaurant before you went in to have dinner. There's a no mobile phone policy. I think it's a really good idea for dating.
Yeah,
definitely. It's too
and not
distracting.
posting on Twitter and Facebook and all that you're, on a date, etc., etc. I think it's very bad manners.
Yeah,
Definitely.
just to have the focus purely on the person that is sitting in front of you. Otherwise, it's just like impolite not to do it.
But do you not think that different cultures, like say Americans with Belgians or London with Parisians, do you not think that the culture, that the rules are slightly different inter-country? Because we're so global, we do so much global dating for our clients. I see a big difference in culture between, like, what we would consider manners in the UK might be completely different about what you consider.
Yes, in America they tend to split the bill 50-50, and they don't think about that at all.
But in Belgium it's the same.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's quite complicated. I think it's just quite complicated for the man to know. Once a woman and the man wanted to pay the bill, and the woman was not very happy with it because she said, I'm financially independent and I want to pay half of the bill. And she found it even rude that he presented to pay the full bill. So which is like a little bit, what is the good way to handle it? So it's not always the man who pays the bill.
It's interesting, isn't it? We would sort of say that in the UK for sure, that I think the good etiquette is that the gentleman has to pay the bill.
I think personally, I think as well, but it's not always done, and not all women appreciate it. Yeah, it's like, I'm a woman and I'm financially independent and I can handle this myself as well. And I'm happy to pay half of the bill. And they're absolutely fine with that. Sometimes the man pays the first time and then the woman decides that she's going to invite the man the second time and then she pays. This is another thing that they sometimes do. Yeah. So it's not a general
Yeah,
rule.
I suppose. What about first impressions? What do you think about first impressions? Do you think that our clients sort of judge on first impressions, or do?
Well, I think it's brilliant that we don't use the photographs. Yeah. So they're walking in blind. They are trusting in us to have made the right choice for them. I think they might go in and go, oh, but actually sit down and 5 minutes into the conversation and it's flowing, think, actually, you know what, my preconceived ideas of who I thought would be attractive, they go out of the window.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a brilliant idea not to have to pick.
Yeah, it is a good idea not to have the photographs. People actually, they get more excited about the date, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you offer, like in Brussels, do you offer dating advice before people go out? Like, do people ask you, what do you think I should wear in order to suit this date? Because I know that what we did once is that, as we had this one client and he went on dates in several countries, and we got a personal shopper for him and we dressed him according to the country that he was going to, so that he would feel that he was part of the culture at the time.
Yeah. Regarding the dress code, in fact, what we say to the people, to the women, we say, just stay feminine, because this is what man looks for. He wants to meet a woman. He doesn't want to meet a second man. He wants to meet a woman. So be feminine, but be natural as well. Not overdressed, not too sexy, but just something that you feel comfortable in, because sometimes they have the tendency just to make it a little bit too sexy, or to go get overdressed, go with a cocktail dress, which is not needed if they go to pizzeria. So that's just be natural, and I think most of the people, they're just happy with that. And But we don't give that many very specific tips. We just give like a general feeling, feel comfortable. It's just like a first time. You're going to meet someone for the first time, and it just needs to be fun. Nothing more, just manage the expectation the right way. It's just meeting a nice person the first time in your life.
But equally well, the men have to dress up slightly. Yeah. If a man arrives in a pair of tatty old jeans and work boots, it's not painting a good impression. He has to dress up, and he has to dress to impress. I mean,
absolutely.
That's one of the biggest no-nos.
That's why they're coming, isn't it, to us? Is that they're coming to meet their ideal person.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And it's just a matter of respect. If you just be well dressed, it feels like I respect the person I'm going to meet. If you come in jeans with holes in it, it doesn't feel very respectful.
Yeah, well, it's also down to self-respect, isn't it? Yeah. It's down to What about post-dating contact?
Oh, post-dating. Well, we at Berkeley always say that, if somebody doesn't have that courage to say that, despite arranging a second date, we will always say no to that person on their behalf. Yeah, I think, actually, if you're not sure, always go on the second date. And you know what? If the chemistry's there, you'll go to the social media, won't you? You'll be texting, you'll have that spring in your step because the little text messages come through and
makes you feel good. Yeah.
I think the important thing is that they just have this kind of follow-up. Not everyone, if they meet someone, send the text messages to thank the other one. And
this is just basic manners. Absolutely,
just basic. You just send a short message to just say thank you. It has been an enjoyable evening, even if you don't plan to meet each other a second time. So I think it's really important, and everybody's doing this. More or less,
But it's really nice for us when you read back the notes because perhaps somebody's talked too much about an ex or something, and it's really helpful for us to go back to that person and say, right, enough now. Don't talk about your ex-wife, your ex-partner, your ex-husband. And I'm sure 90% of the time people do it because they're nervous. They don't know they try and find a common ground to start the conversation.
But trying to squash nerves is a big deal, isn't it?
Massive.
It's extremely complicated.
And you can't do it with alcohol.
Not too much, not 3 bottles, please.
We'll all be on Stoptober. What about something like a sort of a Sex and the City analysis with your girlfriends? Do you know when they used to go on dates every Saturday morning? They go to the coffee shop. Is this?
And you pull apart the night before. I do that the whole time with my girlfriends.
You unravel the date with your girlfriends,
and everybody tries to psychoanalyze.
Like to try and break down. Oh my God,
that's
he was
where the
this.
Prosecco comes out.
Yeah, and you sort of like you're sort of saying you know when people are saying he's just not that into you.
Yeah.
You know that movie's just not into you. Well, you think, why is he not into me? And then all about the rejection and how do we deal with rejection and how we communicate that to our clients in Berkeley, and it's all you have to be very, very sensitive, don't you? So I suppose the people that matter in Berkeley really are the people that do all of our so valued client communication. Because we're out on the front line and we're doing all the looking after the memberships and etc. But the key to our success is our personnel and the girls that work tirelessly for us, being looking after the customer care of our clients.
Yeah, and they are the go-to. They laugh, they cry, they do everything with every member. And they go on the whole journey, and it's lovely. I mean, when you're laughing about the date before. It is, as you described earlier, the coffee morning. Yeah. They'll phone up and it'll be joys of FaceTime. A cup of coffee.
A debrief.
Right, let's have a debrief.
Yeah, absolutely. And you sort of go through you scrutinise and you psychoanalyse every single thing from the tie to the laces in the shoes.
Absolutely.
But that's the fun of it. And that's the good thing about Berkeley, that we have this ability that you have somebody on the other end of the phone or over a cup of coffee or over a glass of champagne, that you can actually give that feedback and feel that you're part of something more special than just an online dating, that we're actually here because we care about you. And that's what matters.
And they can learn. Every member can learn about the feedback. They just improve. And this is something you really feel, is that they just get better and better. Better in dating and better in meeting people and better for themselves.
And then, of course, following on from that, when you're more confident, you're different, your persona is different, your personal aura is different. And what happens? You meet someone.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
a very
beauty of
natural
it.
thing.
So it's about being confident, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Voilà. C'est ça.
C'est ça.